favorite Instagram photos. I've been real active on Instagram lately. I'm about to post a shot right now, actually. And social media posts, though, could get you in trouble. They may increase your future insurance costs. Lauren Simonetti with the details on this one. Lauren,
Maria, based on the photos that I just saw before you came to me, I think you're going to get a cheaper life insurance policy. You look healthy, you look relaxed, you lead a healthy lifestyle. New York is actually the first state to provide guidance for how algorithms could be used to look through and comb through one's social media. So what you want to do is you want to post pictures of you running, doing yoga, meditating, not pictures of you having, drinks at the bar with your coworkers or going skydiving or doing risky things like that, because that ups your liability for the insurance companies. Also, you want to make sure that your friends do not tag you in photos of you doing any of those things. So it's basically like the rule of thumb, just be careful what you and your friends post about you. This is very underdeveloped technology right now, but it is a direction of where we're going with the industry, and it could also broaden for car insurance and property insurance and things like that. So right now, when you get life insurance and you take that physical, they get your blood test, they get your urine, they basically have an assessment of how healthy of a lifestyle you live, how healthy of a person that you are. They could start to use, and they are starting to use, the social media to add to that narrative. Is it fair? I've been skydiving, Maria. I don't skydive. I've done it. Does that mean I shouldn't post a picture of it? Because it means that one time I did something negative, I'm going to have a higher premium because of it. Or conversely, I did yoga. I do yoga all the time, but you can post a picture of you doing something healthy once. It doesn't mean that that's your lifestyle, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I love yoga. And, a lot of people do post stuff like that. But the younger generations do not care what they put. They're just putting stuff out there, not realizing that later it could come up to bite you.
In the wallet. So again, it goes to the moral of this story, as always, be careful what you post, because it could make certain things more expensive. And we might start to see other industries do this if they're not already. Do more. Oh, those are my Insta. Oh, look, I'm a very healthy person. Minus the picture down on the right. We eat a lot of pizza.
What's not healthy about that? I like that pizza shot. Tegan, you're active on Instagram too. I'm loving Instagram. What have you posted lately? And are you thinking about this kind of stuff that Lauren's telling us?
I am basically homebound most of the time in my apartment with my dog. So it's a lot of Charlie, Ramon.
It's a lot of Charlie and Ramon. I know that. All right, we'll take a short break. Lauren, thank you.
Sure.
When we come back, Elon's cool sneakers, how you can score Musk's custom Tesla-branded Jordans. Next hour right here, Mornings with Maria. Back in a minute.
Once more, what we're dealing with is an invasion of privacy towards various companies using your data for their benefit. And it's actually on the same rim, if you'll give me just a second here, of various hacking companies out of China wanting to hack into our business towards finding out
contract with
about, this is it right here, hang on, wanting to find out more about who we are and what we are.
Troops. We are and have been assisting the 60,000.
Hang on one second, where we get to talking about
and Syria to protect
the
Syrian Kurds. Mission 2 will be to counter ISIS so they do not reemerge after we've taken all the territory away from them. And Mission 3 is to operate a base in southern Syria called Al Tanaf, which will block the Iranians' desire to have a land bridge in southern Syria. Those are the three missions. But it's the first mission that's a challenge, because the Brits and the French who are already there, Maria, they don't want to participate in the safe zone. So we have to either increase our numbers or find someone else to do that. The Brits and French want to continue doing what they're doing, and that is keep their foot on the throat of ISIS. They don't want to be involved in a peace enforcement mission between Turkey and the Syrian Kurds. So that is the issue that the Pentagon's facing.
And at the end of the day, there's still ISIS and the potential for them to regroup, and we fight Iran. General, you just mentioned, before we go, General Dunford, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I just want to point out that the other day, during the Senate hearing, he said, and this was in response to a question about Google, Because we know that Google decided to walk away from a contract with the Pentagon because its employees protested. They didn't want Google to be in business with the U.S. government. I don't even want to go there, but that's what they said. And you know what Chairman Dunford said the other day in a Senate hearing was that while Google is working in China, it is actually indirectly helping the Chinese military. So here you have one of the smartest top technology companies of our time, an American company that is able to do everything that it wants to do because of the freedoms and democracy of this great country, America. They walk away from the Pentagon, they work in China, and they end up indirectly helping the Chinese military?
Yeah,
Do they not understand the issues of the day?
Yeah, it is a stunning revelation. And listen, they have a right to compete and not compete for defense contracts. What they pulled away from was the Pentagon's desire to have a very sophisticated, comprehensive cloud operation. The second thing was doing some imaging of drone videos. So they pulled away from it. But here's what they said. The reason why we don't want to work on a contract with the Pentagon is because it's not in line with our values. They're corporate values, but it's America's values defended by the United States military that allows that organization to thrive and prosper. Well, I mean, that is incredible and somewhat outrageous.
It's incredible. Can you imagine if American companies decided back in 1939 to say we're not going to work with the U.S. government because we want to get a foothold in Imperial Japan? Give me a break. General, it's great to see you this morning. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good talking to you, Maria.
General Jack Keane there. Meanwhile, there's this. Sprint reportedly exposed customer personal data due to a glitch. Cheryl Casoni with the details and headlines. This just never ends, Cheryl.
It is something else, Maria. Good morning again. TechCrunch is reporting that some Sprint customers were able to see other customers' information, including their names and their phone numbers, on their online accounts. One user reported seeing text messages and caller ID settings for other users. Not clear how widespread this is. Sprint's got, though, more than 50 million subscribers. Now to Lyft. The road to its IPO has hit a pothole in a Manhattan court. A judge has denied Lyft's request to block a new minimum wage for drivers. Lyft claims the pay...
Sorry about this. I didn't get the front end of this that I should have gotten. He was talking about how that the people over in China hack over 1 million banks.
For Lyft, ahead of its IPO, the ride-sharing giant lost an initial...
a month towards trying to steal identity, that this is what the people in China are doing. Please watch.
Legal battle to end the minimum wage for drivers in New York City. We got the details on Lyft as it prepares that IPO. Taking a walk on the wild side could cost you. Insurance companies may now use what you post on social media to help set premiums. Important note there. Plus, why did the cow cross the road? To eat more chicken, of course. This video has gone viral of a cow crossing the road to go to Chick-fil-A. All those stories coming up this Tuesday morning. But first, we begin this half an hour with threats to national security. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is speaking out on several issues. She spoke yesterday, including touching on the border. Watch this.
The situation at our southern border has gone from a crisis to a national emergency to a near system-wide meltdown. I say this with the utmost sincerity and urgency. The system is breaking. On top of my list of threats, that many of you can guess, the word cyber is circled, highlighted, and underlined. But what worries me is not what these threat actors have done, but what they have the capability to do. Stealing our most sensitive secrets, deceiving us about our own data, distracting us during a crisis, launching physical attacks on infrastructure with a few keystrokes, or planting false flags to embroil us in conflicts with other nations. The possibilities are limitless.
Nielsen is also warning that border crossings have reached their highest level in more than a decade. Joining me right now is Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired four-star General Jack Keane. General, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Maria.
Pretty scary commentary from Kirstjen Nielsen there. Let's start with the cyber threat. Some of the banks, I'm told, get 200 to 300,000 attempts to break into their system a day.
Yeah, there's absolutely no exaggeration about that. I was a director at a defense contractor, and they had close to 1 billion attempted penetrations per month. It's absolutely staggering how prolific the Chinese are.
1 billion per month of infiltrators trying to break in and hack other people's sensitive information, bank information, etc. Whenever you have insurance companies that are honing in on various people's platforms and then adjusting their insurance premiums off of what they're seeing on these people's platforms, to me, this is simply my opinion, to me is equal of a privacy hack, due to the fact that your life that you live is your life that you live. And what gives any insurance company, regardless whether it's a homeowner's insurance company, car insurance company, life insurance company, what gives them the right to sneak in to figure out that, let's say you're a professional mountain climber, or you jump out of airplanes for a living, or you're involved in going down into deep dark caves, being a scout and hosting other people. What gives them the right to sneak into our lives and to make adjustments off of their premiums towards declaring us as either being a moderate risk or a high risk, simply because of what we do or what we don't do? Now, it's one thing to take data off of your driving experiences. In other words, you get out here, you got a lead foot, you get 3 or 4 tickets, I understand. You get penalized for that. Your premium goes up. You get out here, you get involved in an accident or two, your premium goes up. I understand that, because that's hardcore data. In other words, that's undisputed. You've gotten 3 or 4 tickets in the past 3 or 4 months. But to get out here and do a visual on people's lives, to me, hits on the same letterhead of invaders that's trying to steal our data or our identity overseas. Let's listen to a little bit more of this, please.
Well, the #1 penetrators of our cyberspace. It's comprehensive. They have literally hundreds of thousands of cyber hackers who are working every single day to get into our systems. They are the #1 stealers of data in the world. Nobody even comes close to what they're attempting to do every single day.
China.
And you know, the president knows this. The president has been pushing back on China for a number of months now, and for a number of reasons, because it's not just the forced transfer of technology, not just the IP theft, not just espionage, but it's also this constant attempt to get into our systems, right? And they don't admit it.
No, absolutely not. Here's some of the problems we have. #1, our defenses obviously aren't as good as they should be, and there's attempts here clearly to make them considerably better. It's much better. It's much bigger problem than just having firewalls. You have to be able to see what's coming and do something about it. The second thing is, we don't use our offensive cyber to the degree I think we should, because that could help build a deterrence. What am I talking about? Well, we have ways of determining who is attacking us, and when we know that, we should use cyber, our offensive cyber. We're number one in the world at this, Maria, and attack back
Right.
and disrupt and destroy that source. If we impose that cost on the deliverer of the attack, before they conducted that attack, they would have to consider the impact of that cost, because we're going to return that offensive capability to them.
Okay. Did you hear what he just said? Turn it around, flip it, and go after the people that's going after you. Is not our insurance companies attacking us? Are they not sneaking in to our lives towards wanting to know whether or not we do spend a couple drinks with the people that we spend at the office at, or rather not we smoke, or rather not we do mountain climbing? Are they not sneaking in to our privacy towards determining their rates? Is it not the same? That's the $64,000 question that I'm trying to raise right here, is that, my God, we're getting it on both ends. We're getting it on our competitor end of the people that are wanting to excel and exceed above and beyond the American and any other country's practices pertaining to China. But we're also getting it on our own end pertaining to the people that we've hired and paid to protect us and take care of us. We're getting it on both ends. Where does this stop? Do we not have a right to our own lives without having to worry about somebody invading into our bank accounts, or somebody invading into our lives because we decided to show Instagram that we was over in the office spending a couple drinks with a couple of our buddies, and now all of a sudden, because we're drinking a couple margaritas or a couple of this, or we got caught with a cigarette in between our fingers, that now all of a sudden our rates get jacked up because the insurances are declaring us as being a high risk because we climb mountain rocks on the weekends? Where does this end? That's what I want to know. Where does this end towards being attacked either by foreign or domestic? Because the technology that we have today is supposed to be to advance and enhance our lives, not to destroy and eliminate our lives. So the $64,000 question is, where is the line drawn? Who draws the line, and where has the line been crossed?
And this administration has taken steps to loosen up the rules and regulations to use offensive cyber so that it can be delegated down to lower levels, and it doesn't have to come to a president in this very special finding to do it, because these are things that have to be done, obviously, Maria, at network speed. We have to be able to react quickly, and it's not something that takes presidential approval in a matter of days or weeks. So that's a good thing, and I'm hoping that we clearly get more aggressive in the use of our offensive capability.
Network speed. That means you have to be on the defensive 24/7. You have to be careful in what you say, where you go, who you're around, what your activities are. It's become a very, very distrustful environment, and it's also become a very, very complex dangerous environment whenever you can be so misunderstood so quick. You know, it's almost like suddenly we have been chained by this internet bondage. And in this internet bondage, if you don't watch every word that you say and every person that you talk to and everything that everywhere that you go, it can come back and haunt you. And it can haunt you right in the pocketbook. Where does this end? What kind of monster have we created whenever we created 30 years ago the internet? And of course now with Google and all these other social platforms, what have we created pertaining to this monster, the beast, that is devouring people's lives, devouring people's privacy, devouring people's bank accounts, devouring people's livelihoods? Where does this end? Good luck to all of us. Coming from the Windmill Ministries Missions at 291 Thompson Road, Sharon, Tennessee, zip code 38255. Thanks for listening, and shalom.